Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, the 22nd of January. At school, which I have to confess was a rather long time ago now, one of my favorite subjects was geography. I loved the descriptions of nature and climate, etc., and the sheer power that is involved in the earth, volcanoes and floods and cyclones. And I still am fascinated by those. And I share that because there is this tropical storm rapidly becoming, we believe, a tropical cyclone in the Mozambique Channel. And it may well impact definitely Mozambique, and that could cause damage, but also to impact the northern and eastern parts of South Africa. And up here in Polokwane, watching the weather, realizing that we're probably in for some pretty heavy rain. The extent of the damage, we don't know. And that's interesting because with all of our technology as human beings, we cannot accurately predict what the storm will do, what it will become, and how it will become, and exactly where it will go. This storm really has a mind of its own, and we can do some pretty accurate suggestions of what will happen, but we don't really know. And of course, we have no power over it. We cannot stop it or chase it away or turn it and make it go out into the middle of the sea. We are, in many respects, powerless. And all we can do is try our best to predict and then take precautionary measures to stop ourselves from being too badly damaged or affected. And I share that. You'll see by the glimmer in my eyes just how fascinated I am and I watching the storm develop, but also because I'm so aware in Isaiah 45, for example, God is speaking and he describes himself as being God Almighty, the only God who created the heavens. He stretched out the heavens. He formed the earth. It speaks to me of a process. It speaks to me of something which our own cosmologists are beginning to tap into with this theory of the Big Bang and the expanding universe around us. For me, it's an interesting fit that those two descriptions are not contradictory to one another. The earth we know is being shaped and continents are moving and the forces of nature shape the continents, the planets, well, not the planet, this particular planet Earth shapes the continents and the valleys and the cities and the sea line that we are aware of, the shoreline. And I want to ask this question: who is God to you? Is this the God you worship? Because Isaiah 45 openly admits that there are many who have idols and they carry them around with them. And of course, written so many thousands of years ago, these idols were carved out of wood or rather lumpy pieces of molded metal at best. We might have more sophisticated gods in this day and age, but are you carrying an idol around with you, or do you worship this God that Isaiah is referencing, this God who in Isaiah 45 is the God asking rhetorical questions, actually speaking to us? And we might say, yes, this is the God that we worship, but I must be honest and push back a little, because for many people, this God that they worship, really and truly, the level and the extent of the relationship they have with this God is a benevolent friend, a friend who has somewhat more power and resources and contacts than they do. And so they call on this friend when they have a need. But when they don't have a need, they are what we might call the Christmas and Easter Christians. They acknowledge God, but they don't really have a relationship with God. Certainly not with this God who created the heavens in all of their finery and their majesty and in all of the power. A God for whom this tropical storm, rapidly becoming a tropical cyclone, is a God who can control it if he so chooses. And they don't really believe in that God. So which God do you believe in? Is it the God who created this universe in which we live and this planet upon which we live, created all the forces and dynamics of the physics that control our lives? Is that the God you worship? So, an easy question, but in a sense, I would suggest quite a profound question. think about it, pray about it this weekend, more especially if the rains come on Sunday and Monday and you sit inside your house watching the power and the majesty of that storm. Who is the God you worship? Folks, have a wonderful weekend. Stay dry and stay safe. God bless.